Let's talk about NBA. Once again, we're going to read the NBA. Oh, shit, I just closed it out. We're going to read the overall NBA record from Jim. Both Jim and I went 2-0 in the NBA last night. Kind of an obvious call. Not an obvious call, but, I mean, from our perspective, it was obvious on the Lakers. And I'm glad we didn't overthink ourselves. We jumped all over it, and we got a bunch of winners on that one. Great call on Golden State taking the -7, Jim. And I was all over Golden State on the second half when I saw what the first half result was. But great call on the -7 on the full game. That was Jim's other winner last night.
Yeah, it was a perfect in-play opportunity, and I was just too focused on the horses, and it was a mistake not to hammer that.
So these are our NBA records on the year overall with our official picks, if you can believe it. And I ain't lying here. My record, 19-10, plus 8 units, plus 26% ROI. Jim's record, 31-19, plus 11.5 units, plus 21% ROI.
Oh, Jesus.
I ain't lying.
Holy shit.
That's the record. That's the record. There's no way that's sustainable. 20%. We're both in the 20s. Right. 20% ROI in the NBA is not sustainable long term. No. But as of right now, those are the records. And I ain't lying about this shit. Those are our NBA records as of right now. So let's get into the card today. A lot of stuff. I did make a few bets on the overnight lines. We'll see what you have to say about the bets that I made. Hopefully some commenters will comment as well. There were a few plays that just looked a little bit obvious to me. The first one that I did bet, New Orleans going up against Dallas, right? I mentioned in previous shows that I was looking for spots to bet on New Orleans. Obviously, they are a somewhat flawed team in certain areas, but also a ton of talent. And Dallas is just a team that if you ever have a reason to bet on the team that they're playing, Dallas is not going to give you any reason to not do that. So I jumped all over New Orleans, even at -4.5, and it hasn't moved yet. It's still at 4.5, and I didn't bet the first half line because it wasn't out on the overnight, obviously, but -2, that's got to be a great bet, right?
It's got to be a great bet.
Yeah.
I want to be on it too. Mavs are 1-8 and look awful. Now the Pelicans have problems. They have a lot of problems. So
okay, name them.
Well, turnovers. 15, at least 15 turnovers in 6 of their last 7 games. Rondo is not coming back anytime soon. Their whole offense is Cousins and Davis.
Right.
But that will be enough to beat these Mavs and to beat them handily. The Mavs are having issues, man. They moved Harris into the starting lineup. You think that's going to last and work long term? It's not. Cousins is at 30-13. Davis is at 27-12. I hope Nowitzki only plays 10 or 15 minutes because I like him and I care about him. And I don't want him to look like an asshole. And he's going to look like an asshole if he's got to defend these two guys. He's just incapable of doing it. So I think the Pelicans are the play here, and I'm going to ride with you as well.
Well, I'm going to take them on the first half, definitely -2, -105, which I think is a great line. And I guess you think I should double up? I did bet it at 4.5 on the overnight line on the full game, just because that was what was available then. You think this is a good enough game, a strong enough lean to double up? Already some people are saying that Jansen Bonzone saying New Orleans should be the low-hanging fruit. It does feel low-hanging fruity. All right, so I'm definitely on the first half, -2, -105, and I guess I'll double up and take the full game as well, -4.5. What do you want? Just the full game?
I just want the full game because you never know how the Mavs. I remember Carlisle's Mavs being a good home team, and they clearly haven't been this year. But I'm a little concerned that Carlisle can put a nice game plan together for 10 or 15 minutes until Cousins and Davis just destroy down low. So I'm just going to take them on the full game line.
All right.
Big Easy VZ comes in, says New Orleans is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that unpredictable. They just don't have a playmaker at the 1 or the 2 that's going to hook up Cousins and Davis. So Cousins and Davis have to do everything together, and that will change when Rondo gets back. But Rondo's not even running right now, so he's not close to coming back. I don't think the Pelicans are going to give us that many opportunities like this.
Right. Okay, so the line that we're both going to take on the full game, New Orleans -4.5, -109. And I did take Dallas on their team total under recently, lost that one by a half point. I had 97.5, -120, wound up going to 98. I'm thinking that on the team total under here might be another good bet. It's 103 at -106. Dallas is pretty offensively challenged, right? Or do you think that I mean, either the New Orleans team total over at 108.5 plus 105, or the Dallas team total under 103 minus 106 is a good bet, and maybe both.
And maybe both.
Yeah.
I hear you. I think there's some volatility in this game.
Yeah.
Which gives me a cause
to go on it. Yeah.
To just not put too many units into it, just because. I mean, there's some people here who like like Dallas on our chat. And
really?
Yeah. And Pilo says Dallas are 4-1-1 coming off a 1-day break. Oh, that's on the over/under. Cody Valentine says New Orleans is very inconsistent. I can see Dallas stealing one at home. I just feel like because I can't trust their guards to take care of the basketball and to feed Cousins and Davis down low, that I just don't want to risk too many units on this game. Right.
Damn it! Do you know how to get to comments here? I just accidentally clipped one of the sides of that thing. I fucking never use these. All right, so I'm really liking the team total under, but I'm just not sure if I want to go on it 3 ways. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's what I think as well.
But you know what? I will go on it 3 ways. I'm going to take the Dallas team total under 103 minus 106. That's the current line at Pinnacle. So I will go on it 3 ways. New Orleans first half -2 minus 105. I definitely think that if thanks very much. I definitely think that if New Orleans is down at the half, we might see something similar to what we saw last night with Golden State, and they come back and take it. And I do think that if New Orleans does, if they're up at the half, then I'll be good and I'll be so all right.
I think it's a good play. Randy Bo Bandy says Dallas is trash. Arthur Funches says New Orleans is the play. Joe Landon likes your Dallas team total under.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go on it 3 ways. It's always very treacherous to go on it 3 ways, but that's also ways that you can double and triple up on plays that you really like, which I am liking here. Let's move on to another game, but I'm going to be on New Orleans -4.5 minus 109, first half -2 minus 105, and the Dallas team total under 103 minus 106. Jim, just on New Orleans -4.5 minus 109 on the full game. Another game kind of similar, let's get to it, is Houston. Houston finally had a big offensive performance. We were discussing in every show when that was likely to happen. I did have a winner with the total on the last game against the Knicks, and that one cashed not too easily, but by a few points. Jim, you had that one as well, so we were both on that one. Now they're going up against Atlanta, obviously a team that is very, very beatable and blowoutable here. And I did bet Houston on the overnight line. I took them at -8. It's now up to 8.5 market wide, and similar to the New Orleans-Dallas game, I was thinking about taking the first half, which I'm going to do definitely on my personal accounts, and also thinking about team totals here, which would be the Houston team total over, which is what I was thinking about. But I bet Houston -8, and I'm liking them in this game, and I want to give them some way in this show. What do you think?
I agree completely, and I like Rockets -8 as well.
Well, 8. It's 8.5 now.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. A little less comfortable, but fine. Yeah. We knew that they were going to regain their scoring touch at any moment. Yeah. And then Atlanta, so I have a kind of a lean towards the under. I've been impressed with Atlanta's defense in this young season. I think Bazemore and Dedmon create a situation where they're going to be in a lot of games because of their length and their defense. And of course, Schroeder, the young German, is a very good point guard. But the Rockets are just too much, way too much. And the Rockets haven't beaten the Hawks since November 2nd, 2013. That's a streak of 7 games. So, D'Antoni's going to tell them what's going on. He's going to say, listen, guys, we've lost to these guys. And I know it's a completely different roster, and it's silly to say, but they've lost 7 straight games. Go change that. Go out there and beat this team badly. So I like Rockets -8.
Even at 8.5. So, but all your points about Atlanta being good defensively, maybe that means you don't want to fade them as a home underdog, given this many points, especially to a team like Houston that's coming off of a great game, but had some serious question marks before that.
I think that I'm going to take them a lot of times when they're double-digit dogs on the road. I think that their defense will keep them in games. The Rockets are just way too much. So we have a weak roster, and now they don't have Ilyasova, Delaney, Plumlee, Bemby. I mean, you just can't take these guys out of the lineup. Now, yes, I like Bazemore and Dedmon, but not enough to not believe the Hawks will win by double digits.
But you don't like the Houston team total over.
Rockets. I don't. Well, what is it at?
Well, it's 109.5 minus 131 at Pinnacle right now.
I'm not sold. I mean, I think the Hawks are going to try to slow the game down. I do think the Rockets will get over 109, but not easily, not comfortably enough for me to take that action. I like Rockets -8.5.
All right, what are the plays you want to give here, Jim?
Sure, and I already saw somebody not into this play, but my favorite play of the whole card is the Denver Nuggets at home. Whiteside is back, but he doesn't have his legs. And it will be tough for him at this high altitude. This is the time when the Nuggets are their most
Wait a minute.
dangerous.
Whoa. We were talking about the Houston game, though.
Oh, sorry. I thought
what
you
are
said
your
what
official
else?
picks?
Oh, sorry.
So what are your official picks?
Oh, my official picks is -8.5.
Okay. We got to quote the line. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So Jim's going to be on Houston. -8.5, -108 will be the
full game.
The best line that we can give you right there. And So there's some people saying that they don't like Houston -8.5 here because Houston's just too inconsistent, right? Joe Landon is liking Houston. Jesus Cabrera like in Rockets, as well. All right, I will take them. Both on the first half and the full game. I think they might come out really strong. And if I eat 2 losses there, I'll eat 2 losses. What can I say? I'm trying to trust my leans more in the NBA because my leans have been even better than my regular picks, and I have a lot more units, a little bit worse ROI, but still in the teens. All right, so I'm going to take Houston -8.5, and then on the first half, the line is 4.5 -110, which is a little bit high for but that's okay. And I would definitely have a lean to the team total over 109.5 at -10, but I'll hold off on that one for now. All right, so now let's move on to Miami-Denver. Jim was very, very excited about sharing with us his favorite play of the entire card, 12 games. Tell us why you like my Denver so much, Jim.
It's the high altitude, and when the Nuggets are in the midst of a longer homestand. Now, I know this didn't work out last year when I expected it to. The Nuggets were not a very good home team last year, but adding Millsap changes things. Jokic, another year older, changes things. And I think in the 6-game homestand, when they're comfortable with the altitude, and then they have the heat coming in where Whiteside has been out, and he looks tired and sort of lethargic. And I'm a Whiteside fan, but I just think this is a great spot for the Nuggets. And the line is nice. It's not going to take much.
Yeah, it's actually not 5 anymore. It's 5.5.
Okay.
So how do you want to bet this one, Jim?
I want to take -5.5 full game.
Okay. So Jim's on Denver -5.5. Best line would be it's actually creeping up, -110. Intertops and Pinnacle. Pinnacle has -110. If you don't have access to Pinnacle, Intertops, friend of the show, sponsor of the show. Thanks so much, guys, at Intertops for offering us the best line on Denver, -5.5 right now, currently available against Miami. Yeah, that was a game that I was I thought it was an interesting game. I don't know what to make of it, and I was going to Miami still hasn't covered a game yet all year long, and so I decided to pass on that one. But you might. Denver came back from the road trip, blasted Toronto, and I'm just wondering was that for real, or was that a little bit of an illusory result there?
I think obviously Jamal Murray, the Canadian, was stepping up his game to a level that we can't expect. Obviously I watched them do that to my Raptors, but I think it's this in the midst, and we'll see if this works throughout the year. But I think in the middle of a homestand that's over 3 games, the Nuggets are going to have an extra advantage. Yeah.
Yes. You might be right there, Jim. All right, so you're on Denver -5.5. All right, now let's move on to a game that had me scratch my head. It's a very interesting game, Jim. You've had a great read on Detroit all year long, right? Detroit, of course, playing great, coming off of a big loss though, and Milwaukee clearly has been kind of struggling. They don't have a good enough supporting cast around the Greek Freak to make them a good bet. Day in and day out, Detroit comes in here with 1 extra rest day, and Milwaukee's now lost 3 of their last 4 straight up in ATS. So despite the fact that they have the Greek Freak, they might be a good bet against in spots. And the line opened suspiciously low to me, so I did bet Detroit at -1. It's now up to a 1.5. And I was also thinking about a shot with the over, which is also suspiciously low to me at 205. I bet the over on that one, and that is now up to, that is now still at 205. Actually. So, I bet Detroit -1. It's now up to 1.5. I bet the over 205. Hasn't moved. What's your take on this game?
I am with you and like both, but I don't think I'm going to stay with the... You know what? If John Lure doesn't play, the Pistons are going to score more. So let's talk it out, and maybe I'll jump on that too. But I think the Pistons are the play here. Absolutely. They look so good beating the Clippers and Warriors, and then crash back to earth, losing to Lakers. We know why they lost. They had the extra night in LA. They went out to the clubs, started drinking the juice. They think they're the next big thing in the NBA, and that won't happen again. Van Gundy won't allow that to happen again. They're going to be ready to play tonight. And we've seen that if you can get Antetokounmpo in foul trouble, then the Bucks are fucked. And that's what they're going. That's what the Pistons have to do. They have to go at Antetokounmpo every single play. Whoever has the ball has to move it to the guy who's on Antetokounmpo and run right at him. Greg Monroe being out hurts for the Bucks. Jason Kidd's got to come up with something different, and I think he's going to try Antetokounmpo at the 5 if the Pistons start dominating down low, and just to mess them up, just try to get Drummond outside or try to just run Drummond around. But I think the Pistons are the play here easily.
So Sana says Detroit is 13-3 ATS in home games off an upset loss as a favorite over the last 3 seasons. Yeah. Eris Spopalate says Pistons are sneaky good. Yeah. I'm just a little bit concerned about why the line was as low as it was. I was a little bit not sure what to make of it. I hit it anyway, but I don't like it when there's a bet where I don't understand the line.
I hear what you're saying. I think people really believe in this Bucks team, especially after Middleton puts up 43 and it looks like the Bucks actually have a second option. I was surprised it was where it is as well. And I think maybe it's could it possibly be the Lure injury? I don't know. I'm going to take the Pistons here and not second guess it.
Okay, yes. I will as well. I did bet it, and I'm only doing this because I'm making a concerted effort to try to give my leans more. I will take Detroit -1.5, and the best line right now is -105. And what's your sense on the total? I'm thinking about the Pistons team total over at 103 and the full game over at 205. I did bet the over already, and I'm probably going to bet the team total as soon as this show's over. What's your take on that one?
I think you're on the right track. Milwaukee ranks 25th in defensive field goal percentage. It's given up at least 110 points in half of its games.
All right. So if you think I'm on the right track, but you're not looking to tail it.
No,
you might be smart.
I have some reservations, but if John Lure is out, then I know that they're going to try to open it up more. If I was going to take anything, I think I would take the full game over. And you said that was at 205?
205, and the Detroit team total is 103.
I'll take plus 205.
Well, no, I don't want to.
I will. I'm fine with that. I'll take plus 205, but I'm not going to take the Detroit team total over. So that will allow the opportunity for the Bucks to step up and take care of it.
Right. Okay, I will do that as well. I will just take the full game over 205 with you. I did bet that one over 205 -105, and Jim is also on here. So Detroit and then Milwaukee, Detroit, and the only reason that I'm not going to take the Detroit team total over is because that would be tripling up on this game, and because of the lines not quite making perfect sense to me, I don't want to triple up on this game. I'll just double up. So Detroit -1.5, we're both on, and the over 205, we are both on. All right, Jim. What other games are you looking at that are interesting that you're liking here?
There's a bunch. So we got to move quick. The Hornets. I'm going to take the Hornets to beat the Spurs on the money line. The Spurs have lost 4 straight, and I'm expecting them to lose 5 straight. Kemba scored 26 points in their win over the Bucks. Malik Monk provided that secondary scoring that I know these Hornets need desperately. Now, the reason why I like this is so the Spurs are coming back. They played last night in a very important game versus the Warriors, and now they're coming back against a team whose bigs can play with the Spurs. I love Kaminsky. I love Zeller. I like them both more than Howard. I just think that these bigs will be able to play with the Spurs, and I think the Spurs will lose their 5th straight game.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with San Antonio. We're definitely in new and unfamiliar waters with them. Normally, the Spurs were a great bet on a bounce back anytime they were off a loss. That has gone 3 times in a row now, and they have not been a great bet off a loss. Now here they are off of their 4th straight loss. Are they a great bet off of 4 straight losses? Probably not. The money line is plus 143 for Charlotte right now.
Yeah, and Joe Landon says Parker's back. I don't believe that is the case. I've heard that they're going to keep him out of the lineup right now. So unless you know for a fact that I've heard that he's not. Bonson says Popovich will not let it happen. That's what we keep saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we keep saying.
So basically, Jensen Bonzone is saying Popovich will let them lose 4 in a row, but 5 in a row, damn it, not going to happen, right? No, I don't know, Jensen Bonzone. I agree with you. Popovich used to have control over this team and not let them lose 2 in a row. But if he let them lose 4 in a row, I'm not seeing why he wouldn't let them lose 5 in a row, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying I'm going to tail it, but I'm just saying that I'm scratching my head. I'm not sure what to think here. Last night, the play on Golden State made me nervous. At the half, I was thinking that I was right for not taking it, but then I did take Golden State on the second half, and then, of course, wound up being a 4th straight up an ATS loss for the Spurs. So, Bradley Carrington saying Spurs got their ass kicked yesterday after being up 19 at home. You are right about Charlotte. So, plus 143, you want him on the money line, huh?
I do. I love the money line.
Okay, all right. That's a ballsy play, but in retrospect, it might turn out to be an obvious play, and the Spurs are just an auto fade, and I'm just not really seeing it that well. Let's move on to the Brooklyn Lakers game. I want to talk about that because obviously the Lakers, we both had them last night. I had them on the team total over as well. 2 winners on that one. Now they're coming home against Brooklyn, and Brooklyn has been a decent team at times this year. Is this maybe a down spot for LA, and is Brooklyn maybe a play?
My play here is the under.
Okay.
I like this a lot. Now, the simple reason, and maybe I'm simplifying this too much, but I think D'Angelo Russell comes back to LA so pumped up that he's going to play selfishly, and that will hold back the Nets offense. He's going to put it on himself to show these Lakers he could put up 40 and they could score less than 108 points, 110 points. I've been very, very interested in Kyle Kuzma's play. It's just blowing me away. Averaging 15 points per game to lead the Lakers, 54.3% from the field. This is what he said. He, quote unquote, he said this yesterday. He said, the NBA space has really helped. Teams have to respect my jumper. I'm a mismatch at the 4. So a lot of times I have slower guys on me and I can exploit that. I'm just comfortable all over the floor. Now, Larry Nance is hurt, and that's not going to slow down these Lakers because now they got more Kuzma and more Randall. But this is a tough spot in the back-to-back, and I think the line is too high.
The total, you mean?
Yeah.
It is. It's a 227.
Ooh, I love it.
Very high.
I think this is the play.
Okay, actually, Intertops agrees to it as a lean to 226.5, but actually, a Bet DSI has 227.5 minus 110. So you want the under 227.5 there.
I love it.
Okay, and I was also thinking about the Lakers team total under. I had them on the team total over yesterday. The team total right now is 115. So I was thinking about taking the team total under there.
Yeah, I think Ball is going to have a big game.
You think so, huh?
I do. I think he's going to have a big game, and I think he's going to be a tough. You know what? He doesn't have to score that much, and the fact that I don't want him to worry about points. I want him to worry about assists and boards, and just providing the other players with great opportunities. So I expect a bounce back game from him.
Yeah, you do, huh? Okay, well, I'm gonna take it. I'm vaguely agreeing with your lean to the under, and I was also leaning Nets here. So I'm gonna take the Lakers team total under. It's 115 minus 110. If I have to eat a loss on that one, I will eat it. So let's quickly review all the NBA plays that we have given so far. Jim is on Brooklyn Lakers under 227.5, Houston minus 8.5, New Orleans minus 4.5, Denver minus 5.5, Charlotte money line plus 143 to beat the Spurs, Detroit minus 1.5, and the Milwaukee Detroit over 205. And I'm doubling up on a bunch of games today, going with all my leans. I'm taking New Orleans first half minus 2, New Orleans minus 4.5, and the Dallas team total under 103. Houston first half minus 4.5, Houston minus 8.5, Detroit minus 1.5, and the Milwaukee Detroit over 205, and the Lakers team total under 115. What else do you want to add on to your Jim?
I have a couple more picks here.
Okay.
And first off, we should talk about the game that everybody seems to want to talk about, and I have a play on it, and that's the Celtics at Thunder. This is going to be a very interesting game. Celtics have won 6 straight. They lead the league in defense, allowing 93.8 points per game. Irving looks happy and comfortable. This is great. Tatum's hitting 50% from 3. Great. OKC is 4-3 and is about to go on a big winning streak. I truly believe they are about to go on a run. They have so many options offensively, and add Steve Adams to that at 14.4 to the big 3. They are so good defensively, holding opponents to 95.6 points per game, and are shooting 41.9%. I think this will be a case of the older veterans putting their foot down on the throat of the kids. I'm taking the Thunder to win at home and cover.
Okay, the line has gotten bet up. It was 5.5 on the overnight, or actually I think it opened at 5, or it was when I saw it. Now it's 6.5. 6.5 minus 102 at Pinnacle.
I don't like that it's gone in that direction, but I'm going to stick by what I just said.
Okay, OKC minus 6.5 minus 102 is the line there that we will give you. What else are you liking, Jim?
I like this. I think there's money to be made here in this Cavs Wizards game right here. First off, Tristan Thompson's out. That's going to hurt them. The Cavs have now lost 4 straight, 3 of the 5. The issue is they can't protect the perimeter. The Cavs are allowing league worst 14 threes a game. They're too old and slow to protect the perimeter. The Pacers went 16 for 26 from long range. They were completely dominated by Collison and Oladipo. I think they're in big trouble, and I have a lean towards the over, and I'm curious what you think about that.
Well, I did not look at that one because there was no overnight line, and I was stewing in anger about some things, and so I just didn't look at the game at all.
They allowed the Wiz allowed 107 points in the last 3 quarters of their home loss to the Suns. Markieff Morris didn't make his season debut because he had to serve his 1-game suspension. Otto Porter was out of the lineup sick. They will both be there tonight. They've blown double-digit leads in 5 of the last 7 games. First off, I'm going to take the Wizards.
Okay.
And then secondly, I'm very interested in the over.
Okay, right now it is a split line. It's 3.5, 4 or 4, 4 or 4.5. So yeah, a lot of places. Wow, the Greek and BetDSI have 4, 5 Dimes and Pinnacle and BetOnline have 4.5. But Heritage and Bookmaker have 3.5 minus 110. So we can give you that one. Washington minus 3.5 minus 110.
I think that's a real safe space.
Okay, and what was your other play?
Well, was the over, and I don't know what you guys think about this.
High total 221 would be the best, or no, 220 at Bookmaker would be the best line.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over in this game. I'm going to do it. Jesus Cabrera says Cavs are the worst first quarter team in the NBA. Washington Wizards first quarter. Dan Kelly likes Washington Wizards first half team total over. Well, that all sounds good to me. Big Easy Veezy says Cleveland over till proven wrong. Okay, that's enough. Thank you guys.
All right, so it's 221, 222 and a half, or 220. Bookmaker has 220 minus 111, so that's the line we can give you there.
Perfect.
Over 220 minus 111, currently the best line at Bookmaker. Again, I did not look at that game because there were 3 games without overnight lines, and I did not look at any of those 3. What else did you like, or are you done with all your
I think that I'm just double checking right now, but I believe I don't have a play on the Suns Knicks. I don't have a play on the Raptors Jazz, although I don't know how Rubio is playing the way he's playing. I'm just shocked. And Dwayne Casey won't allow the Raptors to keep getting shit on like the Nuggets did to us.
Yeah, I was thinking that Toronto might be a play, although Utah's 5-0 ATS at home this year. But I was thinking Toronto might be a good play.
I was hoping that the Jazz would be favored by more than it's like become a pick'em, and that's I don't think that's good business if I keep taking the road pick'ems. But yeah, those are all my picks.
All right, so let's sum up, and then we'll move on. Jim, again, Washington minus 3.5, Cleveland, Washington over 220, Brooklyn Lakers under 227.5, Houston minus 8.5, New Orleans minus 4.5, Denver minus 5.5, Detroit minus 1.5, Milwaukee, Detroit over 205, OKC minus 6.5, and Charlotte moneyline plus 143. Again, I'm on Houston first half minus 4.5, Houston minus 8.5, New Orleans first half minus 2, and New Orleans minus 4.5, Dallas team total under 103, Detroit minus 1.5, Milwaukee, Detroit over 205, and the Lakers team total under 115. All right.